Snoopy vs. the Red Baron is a flight combat game and stars Snoopy taking on the Red Baron. Starting with the positives, I really like how charming this game is. Of course, it is a World War I flight sim where you have Snoopy basically dreaming about being a pilot in World War I, and all the kids play their own archetype within the dream, and it's kind of odd hearing a bunch of Peanuts characters, going through the missions, planning out assaults and bombing different places. But it's very charming and it's a lot of fun. If you're a huge Peanuts fan, you'll probably get a good kick out of this. One of the biggest positives I have for this game is that it's really fun. I love playing as Snoopy, going around, taking down other ships, other planes, and stuff like that. And it's just really fun. I think it controls very well, though if you're not a fan of inverted controls, you can change that to a better control scheme in my opinion. I'm just not a fan of inverted, but just to let you know, it does default to that, so you may have to switch it out. But other than that, the game controls very well and I have no complaints. All your favorite Peanuts characters are in this game. You have a ton of other references to Peanuts lore and stuff like that. And as I said before, if you're a huge Peanuts fan, you'll probably really like this game, just because of how charming it is. The voice acting isn't all that great in my opinion. They got a lot of kids playing the characters, which makes sense because they're all kids, but the voice acting isn't really that great. But I will say though, the dry comedy in this is pretty hilarious, and I even chuckled a few times. Visually, this game is pretty solid, though I do think some of the CGI characters just don't look great. I do think that they could have had 2D animation for the cutscenes, but it is what it is, and they don't look too terrible. But I don't know, I think there was a missed opportunity there. Yeah, overall I do think this is a pretty good looking game. The music in this game is alright. There are some levels that have better music than others, but overall I just wasn't a huge fan of the soundtrack. This game has 6 different worlds that you can explore, fly around, and take down other ships, and it's pretty neat. Each level kind of has their own theme, and each world has their own boss, and it's pretty nice. The missions, I would say, are pretty original, and while there are some missions that kind of blend together and are kind of bland, there's a lot of variety here to where you're never bored. And there are tons of unlockables that you can get. There's a ton of balloons that you gotta shoot down to get some rewards, so there's a lot of replay value in that. In my opinion, I do think that this game has a bit too much rewards. There's a lot of sub-weapons that you can get that are just completely useless and just don't add much to it. There's like maybe 4 good sub-weapons that you can get, but this game just has a bunch, and I don't know. I just wish that those were kind of cut because some of them didn't matter. You can also buy different planes for other characters to use for the multiplayer. Of course, I didn't play the multiplayer, but it is what it is. And there's other few modes that you can play that I didn't really dabble with, but I'm sure they're pretty alright. Overall, I think you shouldn't have too many issues going through this game. It's not that long. Pacing wise, I would say it's about maybe a 10-hour to maybe even a 6-hour game, depending on how good you are at this game. There are some tough levels in this game, so I can see you getting caught up and having to replay it. Though if you do want to go for completion, it's definitely going to be a longer experience for you. Overall, I had a good time with this game. If you're a huge fan of the Peanuts or Snoopy or whoever, I think you'll really like this game. Even if you're a huge fan of flight sims or whatever, I think you'll really like this game as well. It's fun, it's relaxing, it's not too hard, and it's a pretty fun game. I don't know what else to say other than it's a really fun game. I enjoyed it, and I think you will too. Anyways guys, that's going to be it for me. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what you thought of Snoopy vs. the Red Baron, and let me know, who is your favorite Peanuts character? For me, it's probably going to be Snoopy. But yeah, anyways guys, see you later.